Jess Myers from the Rink Live. Sarah, congratulations. New York City, just what are your thoughts about the biggest market in North America?
Amazing. I mean, New York City is an iconic sports city, and the fans have been amazing this whole season. I've been watching, and I went to school just down the road, so it feels like a bit of a homecoming to me. And so many, friends and teammates in the New York area. So it'll be really exciting to play in front of them.
Questions for Sarah? Go ahead, Nicole, please.
Nicole Hassey, Victory Press. Sarah, I mean, this was kind of predicted, and we knew it was coming. You knew it would be first or one of the first few picks. But how did it all the build up and kind of how to get to this point? Can you just kind of take us through all that?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of anticipation. I mean, I only graduated about a week and a half ago, so this whole month has been filled with so many different emotions and experiences. And to kind of cap it off, getting drafted to a city like New York, it's the cherry on top, and it's going to be an amazing. Yeah, there you go.
Did you seek any advice from Taylor Heisey about what's on your shoulders now as kind of the marquee draft pick here?
I haven't, but I've spoke to a lot of my friends in Hockey Canada, and one of my best friends from Princeton, Maggie Connors, entered the league, and I was on FaceTime with her for like 4 hours last night, just trying to decompress a little bit. So sharing that moment with them too is really special, and I'm sure I'm gonna learn a lot from them.
Let me take some questions online, Sarah. They're just coming through the chat. For folks online, if you have a question, please type them into the chat. They'll go right on your. Team taking questions from the floor in the meantime.
Because you did just graduate, and then there's this, and there is your birthday, and can you have you really had a chance to think about through all this? I know you had to sort of finish your last paper, and it's been a really compressed couple of weeks for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all kind of sinking in right now. I mean, when they called my name and giving my parents a hug, I almost cried a little bit, and it's a special moment. And obviously, I was thinking about June 10th for the last couple months now, and had other distractions to kind of deal with, like my thesis and exams. But to sit here in front of you guys now, it just feels so special, and I'm excited for the next couple days to really let this soak in.
Sarah, question from online. CBC Sports asks, what was it like to have Billie Jean King announce the pick?
I mean, she's an icon in women's sports, and she's done so much for this league. And it's hard to find words. I mean, when you think of someone like that, and being up on stage and getting to shake her hand and give her a hug was a surreal moment, and something I'll remember forever.
Question from AP. How do you regard the challenge of joining a team that finished last and has a new coach?
I think it's exciting. If you look at the talent New York has, I think they've built a really solid foundation, and it's a tough league. I think you can go into any game, and you never know if you're going to win or lose. But I'm excited to help build that solid foundation. And Greg Fargo has been a tremendous coach. I've played against him for 4 years in the ECAC, and he's always a tough coach to play against. So it's exciting that I'm on his team now.
Any more questions for Sarah? We'll take another one from.
Sarah, when you went into college, you didn't know if this was going to happen, differently for the girls, in the first draft, but you had that year of knowing that this was upcoming. Mm-hmm. Did anything change for you in sort of how you approach things? And can you just talk a little bit about getting this opportunity and knowing that you could graduate college, go right pro?
Yeah, it was incredibly motivating, but I think talking to a lot of girls that I knew in the league and hearing their experiences were, amazing. It only made me more motivated to, get as better as I could the whole season. And I think that was a huge part. And I also wanted to add versatility to my game, and it was a huge part of why I played left wing for a long part of the season, so I could kind of fit on any pro roster pretty quickly.
It's good. Congratulations, Sarah.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, Sarah, can we take one more? Oh, just sit down there. What were your impressions of the PWHL in your run, and how important is it to you to be part of growing this league?
Yeah, I mean, I think the league exceeded all expectations that everyone had. It's been so successful and the buzz has been crazy. But I think the coolest thing to see is how dedicated the fans are and how different each market fans are. And I'm excited to play in front of the New York fans. They're so passionate about, their team, and it would be really cool to be a part of it. And yeah.
That's great.
Let's start with you. Please tell us how it felt to hear your name called and the emotions of the experience.
Yeah, I was pretty nervous before, but hearing your name at the draft, picked by New York, it was a dream come true, and I was really excited. So yeah, it was a dream coming true for sure.
Kayle, how about for yourself? What was the experience like in hearing your name called?
It was an unbelievable experience. I got to experience it with my friends and family at home. So just hearing your name called is kind of everything I've ever dreamed of, and being able to play in a professional hockey league is a dream come true for me.
Kayle, you're going to reunite with your Colgate University coach, Greg Fargo. Just maybe a few thoughts about what that feels like and your experience at Colgate as you get ready to turn pro.
I had an unbelievable experience with Greg Fargo, so being able to play under him and play for him, I'm grateful for, and couldn't have asked for a better coach to welcome me into a pro league, as I spent 4 years with him and I had a great 4 years. So I'm super excited to get started with him.
Maja, 3-time defender of the year in the SDHL. Maybe just a few, if you can describe your game for us and what kind of attributes you hope to bring to PWHL.
Well, I would describe myself like as a defender who sees the ice well. And I would say my strength is in the offensive game on the blue line. And I also want to be a good teammate, go with consistency every day. And that's what I'm going to work for when I come to New York as well.
We'll take questions from any media that are participating in the call. If you'd like to ask questions for Maja or Kayle, please use the Zoom console to raise your digital hand, and I'll call on you each one by one and you can introduce yourself and proceed with your questions. While we await more questions, Maja, have you had a chance to watch any PWHL games throughout the year? And if so, what were some of the things that you noticed?
Yeah, it's been a little bit tricky with time difference home in Sweden, but I watch it mostly I can. And I think it's really a fast game, a lot of skilled players. And I think the game grow like during the season, like the teams find their strategy, how they want to play, like the team identity, and it's really physical too. And I really like that since we had the hits home in Sweden too. So hopefully I can bring that over to PWHL.
Kayle, same for you. Tell us about what you took away when you watch, if you're focused on goaltenders or just the style of play in general. What are some of the things that you noticed in your assessment of the inaugural season?
I think the pace of the game, you're playing with the best players in the world. So being able to watch that day in and day out and watch games where anybody can win on any given night, I think is really special. And it just makes the league so competitive.
Carissa, you can go ahead with your question, please.
Thanks, Paul. Congratulations to both of you. My name's Carissa. I work for CBC Sports in Canada. Question for you, Maja, just about the progression of your team in Sweden. You didn't have very many Swedish players in the league last season. I think only one. And now you're going to have, a few in the league this upcoming season. What does that mean, do you think, for your national team? How will that help you grow being able to play in this league next season?
Yeah, I think it means a lot. Players to coming over and playing this league. I mean, it's the best league in the world, and you can play against the best players in the world every day. And I think if we get more Swedish players here, we can develop our national team too, and hopefully I can show the way for the others now, taking this step over.
That's great, thanks. And just one for you, Kayle. Obviously, most of us here in Canada, we saw Danielle Serdachny's shot at the World Championships, and you have, probably see it all the time in practice. So what can we expect from her, and what do you think it'll be like to, potentially play against her this time around?
I think it'll be pretty special to play against her. Having played with her for 4 years, I got to see day in and day out how special a player is and how gifted she is. And I'm excited to see what she does in this league, and she'll do big things. And I think it's just an advantage being able to practice against her every day and just prepare me for this PWHL league.
And is there a goaltender that you sort of, admire in the PWHL, or someone that you, kind of look up to, model your game after?
I think Amrene Desbiens, I had the privilege of practicing with her at the rivalry series in December, and got to see how hard she works day in and day out. And I think that's who I aspire to be and have the success like she does. And I think she's a great goaltender.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Krista. That's a great question for you as well, Maja. If there's somebody that you've modeled your game after, whether it's a current player or other influences in your hockey career.
Well, if I can say a men's player, Niklas Lidström is from the same hometown as me. So growing up, I had him as a role model. Of course, he's like a really, really good hockey player in both ends. But he's also like a really good human being, like really humble and leading by example kind of guy. So I always had him as a role model growing up.
Reminder to folks on the call, if you have a question, please raise your digital hand. We still have another 5 minutes or so with Maja and Kayle. We can take some more questions. Maja, have you had any communication with any current players or anyone else in the draft class? What kind of communication have you had either before the draft or even since the draft last night to share in the celebration?
Yeah, I've spoken like to players that were in the draft last year and said congratulations to like we had another Swedish player going. So just be happy for each other and that you get picked last night.
Kayle, had you spoken with anybody about the league before the draft and then likewise after the draft? Who are some of the folks you've heard from?
Yeah, I think definitely my whole graduating class at Colgate, everyone was kind of texting about it before and super excited for it. And then after the draft, a couple of girls from the team had reached out, and Jessie, of course, who played at Colgate, reached out. So that was pretty special too.
Only 3 goaltenders selected in the draft. What does that mean to you to be among them?
I think it's a pretty special feeling. I mean, this league is so competitive, and there's a bunch of great goaltenders that were on the draft list. And honestly, I'm just honored to be picked, and I'm super excited.
Maja, what can you say about you're used to some of the physicality in the SDHL, and what is that an element of your game that you look forward to translating into the PWHL?
Yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed like the hitting rule we had here in Sweden now for our last 2 seasons. And it takes a while to get into it, like learn how to take a hit. And hitting is a lot about timing. So I think I learned that during these 2 years, and hopefully I can keep on bringing that now going overseas.
Maja, do you have a favorite hockey moment over the course of your career that you'd like to share?
Well, I played in the same club here in Sweden for the last 5 years, and when we had our finals, I think 2 years ago, we got full crowd, and was breaking the tennis record for Swedish women's hockey here in Sweden. So that was awesome, sharing that moment with all of our fans here, just seeing the women's hockey growing here in Sweden.
Kayle, same question for you. Is there a moment in your career that stands out most memorably?
I think this past year, winning the ECAC tournament at home in front of our home crowd in my senior year was probably one of the most special ones I've had in a long time.
Last one from me anyways, unless there are other questions that pop up. Just your excitement about joining the New York market and being in that environment. I'll start with you, Kayle, and then Maja, the same question.
I'm definitely super excited. All the girls seem great, and the playing in New York is like a dream come true. I've never been to New York, so I think it'll be really cool to play there and be with the girls and get to work, because the PWHL is an awesome place to play, and New York is definitely a place I'd want to be.
Yeah, I agree.
Maja, are you
I know I've been to New York as well, so that would be super excited, and just super exciting to join the team and hopefully doing better next year.
Maja, you did have a chance to experience upstate New York at the Women's World Championship in Utica. Maybe just some memories of being in that environment, competing at the highest level.
Yeah, I thought it was in New York, but then we went to Utica and it wasn't maybe like you expected. But no, but just coming over and playing here on small rink and everything like that just got me feeling for how it would be to play in the league as well. So that was a really good experience.
And Kayle, kind of on the same topic of New York, it's in many ways it's home for you as far as your experience in university, but just being able to stay in a familiar environment.
Yeah, super excited to be heading back to New York. I've actually never been to New York City itself, so I'm definitely excited, but being back in New York State, I think is exciting, and I like my 4 years at Colgate, so I'm excited to be back in New York for another year.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to both of you. It's very exciting to have you both part of the PWHL. I'm sure you've had only a little bit of time to celebrate with your family and friends, and I hope you get that more opportunity to do so. And we can't wait to see you on the PWHL ice in New York's training camp later in the summer and fall. So thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
PWHL New York, Noora Tulus. Well, perhaps to start, what does it mean to be drafted and the newest member of New York? Just tell us, put that into words for us, please.
Yeah, like amazing feeling. Like it's really hard to put to the words. I'm super proud of myself. So yeah.
We'll take questions now. Please, Zoe.
Hi, Noora. I'm Zoe. I write for the Victory Press. I wanted to ask you, is there anything in particular that drew you to make the declaration to play in the PWHL as opposed to staying in Sweden?
You mean like, sorry, can you repeat it?
Yeah. What factored into your decision to decide to declare for the PWHL draft?
First of all, like, I wanted to like do something new and like develop. So I felt that like I need to try something new and like, yeah, go out of the comfortable zone.
Is there anything you're particularly looking forward to about being in New York?
Well, I'm excited to meet the team and the fans, first of all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, can you describe your style of play and what makes you an effective player?
Well, I feel like I have a good hockey sense. I like the way how I see the game. And yeah, someone saying like I'm fast and I have a good shot, so I think I need to listen to them.
Have you ever been to New York City? I know you've been in Utica, New York for the World Championship. Was that your first time in New York?
Yes, yes, but I haven't really seen the New York otherwise.
Seeing no more questions. Congratulations on being drafted.
Thank you.
Congratulations on being drafted. Please tell us how it feels.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm super excited to be going to New York. It's a little bit of a homecoming for me, but definitely a change of venue from Hamilton. So I'm excited to experience the city and everything New York has to offer.
Take some questions for Allyson.
Hi, Allyson. I'm Zoe. I write for the Victory Press. I was just wondering, you didn't have a lot of notice that you would still be playing for Greg Fargo, but how does it feel to be transitioning to this journey with a familiar face?
Yeah, it's definitely reassuring. Coach Fargo and I have had a great relationship over the past 5 years, and being a part of leadership on his teams and interacting with him in that capacity has been really rewarding for me. And so it is a lot of fun being able to, make this jump with him. So.
As a defender, how would you describe your game? And is there anyone you're particularly looking forward to playing with that skill set on New York?
Yeah, I would describe my game as very versatile. I'm a shutdown defender as well as, I can create opportunity offensively and create chaos in that way. So I'm excited to bring both sides of play to New York. I'm just excited to get to know all my teammates better and be able to work off them.
You mentioned that it was a homecoming for you to come back to New York. Can you talk a little bit more about that and just the feeling of getting drafted by New York specifically?
Yeah, it's really cool. Like having been in Hamilton, New York for the past 5 years, it's cool that I can continue my professional career in a state that I'm somewhat familiar with. So, but definitely excited for the change and the fast pace that New York has compared to the small town of Hamilton. So I'm looking forward to that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Allyson, are there any players currently in the PWHL that you maybe model your game after or that you've admired before having a chance to play with them?
Yeah, I really like Ella Shelton's game. I think she's super strong offensively. Megan Keller, I really, she plays a very strong offensive and defensive game. So I would say those two players I'm looking forward to playing with and against. So.
Did you get to any PWHL games this season?
I did not, no. Unfortunately.
Was that a team that you watched online, or if you watched any PWHL, if it was New York or any part of the league, what are some of the things you noticed?
Yeah, watching the games, I feel like the first thing everyone talks about is how physical it is, and I would say that that's true for me as well. It's super fun to watch, super fast paced, and I'm looking forward to getting to play with so many skilled players in this league. And, I'm hoping to bring some more of that physicality to the game as well. So looking forward to all of that.
It's great. Congratulations on being selected.
Thank you so much.
Having seen now at the podium is the newest member of PWHL New York, Gabby Rosenthal. Gabby, congratulations.
Thank
and
you.
Tell us how it feels.
Oh, I have no words. Honestly, I'm so thankful and grateful to be able to go to New York. I'm so excited to get into this league and everything that it offers. So I'm just so excited.
There have been more Ohio State alums drafted in this draft so far compared to any other club or college. What does it feel like to be leading that program and taking this next step?
Yeah, I'm eternally grateful for the Ohio State family. I think they've given me so much and improved me as a player throughout my entire career as well as a person. So I think it's no surprise to me that so many Buckeyes are going just because of the culture and community we have there. So I'm so happy for them and happy to be a Buckeye.
How would you describe your game and how you're hoping to transition your skills to the PWHL?
Yeah, I'd say I'm a 200-foot player, definitely a center. So I'm really hoping to bring that strong, solid, best center core to the league. So I'm really excited to be a physical player and just be a role player and help my team however I can.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Gabby, entering the league and as a champion, but also ending your college career as a champion, just kind of put that the steps of the process or steps of the journey into words for us.
I'm sorry, could you repeat?
Sorry, I just reading this wrong. Just to graduate a champion and have that part of closure on the NCAA career and use that as motivation and confidence heading into the pro career.
Yeah, I think there's so much confidence. Again, thankful to be an Ohio State Buckeye and just all that they provide me. I think they prepare their athletes to be in this professional league. So I'm just so excited to get started and everything that they've done for me. And yeah.
Did you watch any PWHL games this year? And if you did, what stood out?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the speed and physicality. I think you have the best players in the world here, right? So obviously you're going to get amazing games every game. So I'm just really excited to be a part of that. And yeah.
Were any players in particular that you admire, model your game after, or you look forward to playing with or against?
Yeah, definitely. Former Ohio State, Natalie Spooner. I think she's a fantastic player and showed how skilled she is throughout this league, as well as other players like Emma Malte, such a gritty player, and I really love that out of her. So
it's great. Thank you, Gabby, and congratulations.
Thanks.
Seated now at the podium, the newest member of PWHL New York, Elle Hartje. Congratulations on being drafted. Tell us how it feels.
I just feel extremely grateful to have been drafted in such a strong draft class, and every single person that was declared is really worthy of a shot. So I'm really grateful to the staff in New York for giving me one, and to all the women who made this happen and the whole setup here. I'm just really happy and grateful.
We'll take questions, Elle. Maybe you can start by just describing yourself as a player and the skills that you'll hope to bring to the next level.
Yeah, I think the greatest thing about me is I am kind of able to fit into whatever role is needed of me. And that was something that I was able to cultivate in my time at Yale, whether that was power play, PK, shutting down an offensive line, me myself being on an offensive line. I think that my ability to kind of adapt to whatever's needed is going to serve me really well next year. And also my hockey IQ is something that is pointed to. I know that I hear a lot. And I owe that to my dad, who was my coach my whole life. So shout out, Dad.
Are you excited that you get to stay in the sort of the same part of the country and be in a familiar area?
Yes, for sure. I had all of my friends manifesting. I'm a big believer in manifesting, and I'm so excited. It's kind of like I'm going home. New Haven was my home for 5 years, Connecticut area, and now kind of extending into the New York area. It's all the same to me. I love it. I'm so excited.
You mentioned a little bit at Yale, but can you just talk a little bit more about, like, as you said, you were very adaptable. There were times when we needed you to be a scorer and other times that you were more distributing the puck. How have you grown as a player and how will that help you moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you come into college kind of a little baby. And so naturally you're going to grow and get better. And I think my time in Europe actually during the COVID gap year was huge for my development. I came back playing bigger, faster, stronger. And so I owe a lot of credit to that. And also to my coaches at Yale who were always down to get on the ice extra with me and work on some of the things that we would pick out and film. And, you know, I just had a whole staff around me that was like 100% in my corner, which I feel like you don't really find outside of family. And so I now call them family. We talk all the time. And I'm just so grateful that that's the coaching staff that I ended up walking into.
What are you looking forward to playing with New York? Maybe specific players or the coaching staff? Or what are you looking forward to in that situation?
Well, first of all, location, which we touched on, so exciting. I'm really excited to play for Coach Fargo. I played against him a long time, and that was a big rivalry there. So it'll be nice to finally. I didn't hate him, but I just hated what he stood for, which was Colgate, because we wanted to beat them. So I'm really excited to play for him and learn from him. And obviously Colgate was amazing and he has a great resume. So he's going to have a lot to teach me. And then, I mean, the caliber of play there is really exciting. And I think there's a lot of room to grow. And I just can't wait to see what we get done next year. I just got to meet Alex Carpenter out there and she gave me a really warm welcome. So everyone's just been so great.
Can you just talk about what it means? It's an ongoing NCAA discussion about no D1 programs in Michigan, and you're hearing much repping home, and your coach. I heard you talk about it coming in, but just what it means to be another pro woman coming out of Michigan that had to leave home and go play somewhere else, and just what it says about the caliber of girls, and maybe that there needs to be more development there.
Yeah, Michigan always is churning out grade A players at the national level, and the world level. And so it's really bizarre that there's no Division I programs there. It actually seems like we're closer to a new PW team there, which would be so exciting. I actually had the honor of going to the neutral site game that was in Detroit because it was during my spring break, and the atmosphere was electric. It's not called Hockey Town for nothing. So I think that everyone that was there and wanted to be there and was watching on TV would agree with me that more hockey needs to be brought to Michigan because Michigan is a hockey state.
I was gonna, you answered a question already about that neutral site game and going, and it's gonna elaborate on your jacket. Other than repping Detroit, is there anything particular about the jacket, like Lions specific, or is it just more about hometown pride?
Yeah, I love the Lions. We're a big sports family. Like Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, and the Lions always get to play on Thanksgiving, so that's like ingrained in our family tradition. And tonight's a pretty nerve-wracking night, so I just kind of wanted a piece from home. It's also my sister's, and she couldn't be here, so there's a lot behind the jacket, and it's really cute.
Does that mean you love an underdog?
Love an underdog. Come on. We were underdogs at Yale. I love being, and yeah, because you can prove them all wrong, so.
That's great. Congratulations, Al.
All right, thank you.
Don't in here. It's gonna start in here. We're also filming online. You can just go back.
Where am I looking?
Whoever's asking the question. We're just getting set up. Phil, you good? Camera good? Good. Seated at the podium as the newest member of PWHL New York. Félicitations à Emmy Fecteau. On va commencer en anglais et après en français, but tell us how it feels to be drafted.
I'm very honored. It's an honor to play for New York. I'm very excited. I can't wait to meet the fans, to meet my teammates and my coaches.
Maintenant en français, s'il vous plaît.
Je suis vraiment excitée. C'est un honneur d'être recrutée par New York. J'ai vraiment hâte de rencontrer les fans, de rencontrer mes coéquipières et aussi le personnel d'entraîneur.
Okay. S'il y a des questions pour Emmy.
Isabelle dit, qu'est-ce que ça te fait d'être à New York? C'est de plusieurs filles là-bas québécoises qui jouent là-bas. C'est quoi tes impressions d'être à New York?
Je suis vraiment excitée parce que oui, il y a des Québécoises à New York, puis je crois qu'ils ont fait une excellente job comme c'est là dans la PWHL. Puis je veux continuer cette lignée-là à montrer comment U-Sport aussi, on est capable de compétitionner dans une ligue professionnelle.
Le directeur général parlait tout le temps de 60 minutes d'efforts constants. Qu'est-ce que tu peux apporter à l'équipe justement à ce côté-là?
Justement, je crois que je suis une joueuse vraiment constante qui est capable de jouer dans les deux sens de la patinoire, qui va amener un côté physique et qui va aussi donner son effort à tous les matchs, à toutes les présences.
Merci.
Hi, Amy. Congratulations, first of all. Tell me what it was like for you today, sitting in the crowd with your parents, your brother, watching this and hoping that you were going to be drafted and probably hearing your name called. What was that like?
Yeah, for sure. I was really nervous, but when my name was called, I was so happy and so relieved. I was waiting for that moment, and it's a dream come true for sure.
Did you happen to get a chance to say hello to your coach at Concordia?
Yeah, no, I haven't had the chance so far yet.
And how do your parents react? What do they say to you?
I think they were happy and proud of me, and they know how much I worked hard for that. And yeah, I think they were really happy. For sure, they're going to be a bit sad that I'm going to somewhere far, but they're going to come see me for sure.
Thank you.
Good.
Oh, you can, sorry here. Yeah, Thank you.
Can you just talk about what it means to be the first player drafted from youth sports and what it says about the quality of the programs there and what we can see in the future for this league with players from youth sports?
Yeah, for sure. I'm very proud to represent you sport today. I think we can. I will show how much we can play in your sport and how the level is also very good. And so far, the players from your sport did an amazing job. And I think we're going to continue to show how we can play hockey and how hockey is as similar as in the NCAA. You're welcome.
Une question en français sur en ligne de Nylén Richard, le Journal de Montréal. Qu'est-ce que ça fait d'être la première, le seul Québécois jusqu'au présent d'être repêché ce soir?
C'est sûr que c'est un honneur. J'espère être capable de bien représenter les autres Québécoises, puis j'espère que les autres Québécoises vont avoir des opportunités de signer des contrats avec d'autres équipes. Donc oui, je suis vraiment fière d'être là aujourd'hui, puis d'être repêchée. Oui, c'est sûr, c'est un beau moment.
Et aussi, une autre question, Julien Paquette-Lebois. Comment ce sera de s'entraîner à Montréal cet été avec des joueuses comme Poulain et Stacy? Et comment est-ce que ça peut être à faire ta place dans la ligue?
Oui, bon, c'est sûr que je vais m'entraîner encore avec Laura puis avec Marie-Philippe, puis je vais pouvoir voir qu'est-ce que je dois faire pour jouer contre eux cette saison, puis j'espère qu'ils vont arriver prêtes parce que dans les matchs, je vais être prête à jouer contre eux puis à les arrêter.
Qu'est-ce que Pascal Daoust a dit en te repêchant?
Il me dit, bien sûr que j'espère que ça te dérange pas de faire un petit peu de route. J'ai dit, ben non, je suis vraiment excitée. J'ai dit merci beaucoup. C'est vraiment une belle opportunité.
Back to English from Chris Duncan of CBC Sports. Looking at your development over the last few years in Montreal, how crucial has it been to have the Centre 2102?
For sure, it was amazing to have the chance to work out and practice at the center, to have the chance to play against and with players like Marie-Philippe, like Laura. I think it helped me develop a lot and play at their level, for sure.
I know you said you had a lot of family and friends watching from the Beauce area.
Yeah.
Who are you thinking of when your name was finally called besides your parents and your brother?
Sorry?
Who are you thinking about besides your parents and your brother?
Yeah, but I don't have any brothers, so I have 3 younger sisters, but it's okay. They were all together with my grandmother and my grandparents and my cousin. All my family were together, so I'm thinking of them for sure, and my friends.
Thank you.
Est-ce que tes autres questions, n'est-ce pas? PWHL General Manager Pascal Daoust. Pascal, just take us through the draft from your perspective and the teams.
Yeah, what a great day for New York. Absolutely. It's a great day for the PWHL because it was an opportunity again to select the next generation of the best players in the world. But for New York, I feel that we definitely have good news and good players to present to our crowd. So look forward to be in November already. I would like to be already in November, but we'll have a day or two of break before that. So I'm willing to answer any of your questions now.
Great. Pascal, you had 5 minutes on the clock before you made your first overall pick, but I think you were up by the stage less than a minute into that time. Can you just maybe take us through the selection of Sarah Fillier? Was that an easy decision for you?
Well, it's never easy to say, okay, you have the opportunity, the privilege to select one of the best, or if not the best in the world. You need to balance. You need to meet the player. You need to interview and to because you see the player on the ice, but you want the greatest leader in the room as well to represent New York. We knew that Sarah would be our pick. I even sent her the photo a minute just before I hop on the stage because meeting with her, I asked her, would you prefer to have the surprise or would you prefer to have a flag just a bit before? And she was asking to get the flag. So that's why I was already there and she was pleased with it.
And if I can ask a follow-up, Elle Hartje was a player who's had one of the top offensive careers in college over the last several years. Was that a pleasant surprise to be available at 25?
It was, to be honest, it was. When you're drafting, you have surprise. Sometimes you have good surprise. Sometimes you have to adjust, you have to adapt. But having a plan when you build the draft, building your selection, building the strategy, having the opportunity to add some picks with a trade, we were expecting to have her somewhere around because we were mainly controlling the floor at that time of the draft. So we were very positive to have her there.
You made several selections that I think were really interesting on defense to add to the decor that you already had, which was quite strong in year one, despite the fact that, sometimes things didn't always go your way. Can you talk about how you drafted for defense in this draft?
Yeah, you're right. I think we have already a good decor. We're adding some great D with the right side of the plane. So that was a need. This year we were playing only with Bourbonnais and Baker on that side. Players at that level, they are okay to play on the wrong side. The two lefty together, you see that often. But when you have the opportunity to go with two top right-handed, that was like on the plate in the plan. Also, they bring some physicality for sure. We like the way they skate. We like the way that they're closing the gap. So we're very happy to add those two to the other four.
And my second and final question for you is, can you talk about how Emmy Fecteau ended up on your radar and what you see in her and what it was like to be able to select her with your final pick?
Yeah, Emmy Fecteau, I mean, you all know probably my story, coming from Montreal, coaching in youth sport. I was lucky enough last year to call and name Don Landry from McGill and then Ladell from the Carabin. I was involved there. And now it's Fecteau with Concordia. She is definitely a strong leader, a good player, a two-way player. She won 2 national championships. It would have been 3 if they were not being scored with 1 second left before going to the overtime. So she's been through like high-level competition. She can play everywhere on the rink. 27, I like to say 17,000 square feet. So she covered like 360 degrees of the puck. She's respectful of the game. So really happy to have her. Yeah.
Can you take us through the trade that happened? Was this something that was brought up to you by Boston? They wanted to trade up and you were happy to grab the extra pick there. Can you maybe take us through how that happened?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you look at the list you have, it's a shopping list, and you're trying to fill as much position as you can to have like a training camp that will be high level of competition, and then a season that no one will think that, okay, this is my chair for the rest of the year. This is pro league, so we need competition. So to have the opportunity to move back by 3 rank, we were very positive that we would have RD on that seat, and then adding an extra 3rd round and moving back from our 7th pick to another 5th round pick. Well, the result is on our list. We're really, really pleased with all the players we have, and that was like purely strategy to move back here. Yeah.
Pascal, question online from John Willow, Associated Press. What's it mean to New York to add someone who's been called a generational player such as Sarah Fillier?
Well, it's a unique opportunity to draft the first overall. It's a privilege that we got, and I don't want it next year unless we make a great trade. But having the opportunity to be the first on the stage, to call for Sarah Fillier, I mean, she's been like she faced so many good players. She played already against the best in the world, with the best in the world, and she's always outstanding facing them or playing with them. So very pleased to add her to our lineup for sure.
Et si le playoff français, quelques mots avec Emmy Fecteau.
Oui, ben, ce que je disais un petit peu précédemment, j'ai eu le privilège à mon premier repêchage de pouvoir nommer deux joueuses québécoises issues du système U-Sport. Il y a eu Jadon Landry qui provient de McGill, qui était une de mes adversaires, et Alexandra Labelle qui arrivait des Carabins. Cette année, je suis content de faire le tour du chapeau des équipes montréalaises avec Concordia. Emmy Fecteau, c'est une joueuse qui est une gagnante, qui est une leader, qui méritait d'être sélectionnée. J'étais content parce que c'était notre dernière sélection. Après ça, il allait y avoir 11 ou 12 sélections après nous. Emmy Fecteau, il fallait qu'on trouve une façon de lui donner son opportunité à New York et j'étais très, très heureux de pouvoir le faire.
Take one more in front.
Yep.
I just wanted to ask about sort of the international flavor of the picks that you took and what you see in some of those international, the Swedish players and the SDHL experience. Like, what about that appealed to you?
Yeah, you see, when you want to build the team that is heading to get the championship, you need some people that has a track record of winner. Adding those two, well, if I go with Persson first and then Tulus, those two players are like definitely having a great career over there. We've been like lucky enough to watch them play at the World Championship. Before you go on the international, you need to also ask some of your players, some of your national players, what they think about them, which I did with our like national player, and they were like only having good and strong opinion on them. So when you add the international experience to your dressing room, you bring that little extra that can make a difference. And those two are really they are the winners. So they're going to bring some championship experience to our locker room.
Thank you, Pascal. Merci beaucoup.